That's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Welcome to the Bottom Line Wrestling Cast, the career of Stone Cold Steve Austin. This week is episode 32, and it's Vince McMahon's master plan from September of 1998. I'm Mike Prue along with JV. JV, how you doing this week?
Doing well, man. Gearing up for what looks to be a very interesting episode for us. Some highs and lows for sure.
Yeah, definitely noticed a lot of lows early on.
Yeah, I hear you.
But there are some great spots here that we'll be getting to.
Yeah.
You know, we're
Nice
coming
build
off
to this episode.
Yeah, we're coming fresh off of SummerSlam, the Highway to Hell, which we covered last week, where Stone Cold retained against The Undertaker. Undertaker was in cahoots all along with Kane, but he made sure that Kane didn't interfere in the match and that it was a fair match at SummerSlam. And as we're going to get into, it kind of pissed off Vince McMahon that, Undertaker didn't take the help from Kane to take the title off of Stone Cold. So McMahon's kind of a little dicked off, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But was there anything else going on? The Celtics, they got a big game this week.
Oh, yeah. Big win yesterday and a big game tomorrow night as we record on this fine Monday. So they look good. I didn't think, it's Milwaukee. They were arguably the best team in basketball in the regular season. And they have the Giannis, the Greek freak, who's a freaking monster. And they kept him in check. Old man Horford. Old man Horford, dude's younger than us.
That's funny.
And Aaron Baines putting the lockdown on him, it was good to watch.
I'll definitely be interested in checking that out.
Hell yeah.
Hopefully by the time you guys listen to this, there'll already be another win.
Yeah, for real. 2-0.
Yeah.
2-0 and heading to Boston is what we want.
That's right. Got to get back to Boston.
Yep.
So when they're supposed to play in Boston, would it be like Saturday, Thursday? Wait.
No, game
Friday?
3 is Friday. So they play tomorrow night. Then they have Wednesday, Thursday off for travel. And then Friday night, the Garden, 8 o'clock tip-off, game 3.
All right. All right, so with that, let's get into it. Let's get back to our Attitude Era, Stone Cold Steve Austin. And like I said, we're coming off fresh from SummerSlam, and there's kind of a lull right after SummerSlam for the WWF. Their scheduling of events have some kind of issues. I don't know if it's related to like a dog show on USA. I couldn't exactly find out. But there's not going to be Raw on Monday night for 2 weeks. So the night after SummerSlam, no Raw. So imagine that. Imagine that today where they have a big pay-per-view like SummerSlam and then the next night there's no Raw.
Oh, that'd be... I'd be as speechless as I am right now. I really wouldn't know how to react to it. Like, what do you mean? Like, they never not have it on Mondays anymore unless it's like...
Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, even on Christmas, I think if a girl lands on a major holiday like Christmas, like they'll still air it. It might be pre-recorded, but I think they'd still show it. I don't know.
Well, in this case, with this Raw here, they did record it. They did tape it on a Monday night. So people were still in live attendance at the event on the Monday. It just didn't air until the following Saturday. So this is Raw 275, aired September 5th, 1998, taped on August 31st, 1998. And it's a Raw Saturday night special edition. And take a guess at what time this aired on Saturday.
Ah, really? Eastern time?
Yeah, Eastern time.
6 o'clock.
Well, 11 p.m.
What?
Yeah.
So, almost fucking Sunday.
Yeah.
played into Sunday night.
Right.
Sunday morning.
No, yeah.
Jeez.
It went into Sunday morning. It's a 2-hour episode. So it's from 11 to 1.
Wow.
So with that off the bat, not many people are going to be watching this Raw. And
No.
you're gonna when we go over it, you'll see why. And the following week, same issue is they tape it on the Tuesday, the next day, on the 1st, September 1st, and they don't air it until the following Saturday after that. So they record these 2 Raws back to back right after SummerSlam. They don't air for like a week and 2 weeks later. So they don't want to do a whole lot of great things on these 2 Raws, basically, is my point that I'm getting to. So there's not going to be a whole lot of good shit on the Raws. They actually save the good shit for the Sunday night Heat tapings during these 2-week periods. So when we get into the Heat action, you'll actually, that's where you get to see Stone Cold. And Stone Cold's left off these Raws, basically, and he's just on those Heats for like 5-minute segments. So yeah, a little different than what we're used to. We're used to like some jam-packed shows, and we don't have that with the first 2 weeks here. So let's get into it. Raw 275, September 5th, 1998. As I said, Vince McMahon's going to be a little dicked off that The Undertaker didn't use Kane to help him get the title off of Austin at SummerSlam. So without further ado, let's take a listen to Mr. McMahon and his little pissed off attitude he's got.
If The Undertaker had listened to Mr. McMahon at SummerSlam, The Undertaker would be the champion right now and not Stone Cold Steve Austin. Then McMahon would really be smiling.
May I have your attention, please? That's okay. You can't spoil the mood I'm in, I can tell you. And the reason is that on September the 27th, a brilliant, Machiavellian, masterful plan will be unfolded.
Machiavellian?
As a matter of fact, on September 27, there's going to be a breakdown. Yeah, an emotional and a physical breakdown. And who is it that will experience this emotional and physical breakdown? Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Well, the September 27th, the next time we're on pay-per-view, that'll be in Hamilton, Ontario.
On September 27, when this plan is executed, Stone Cold Steve Austin will no longer be the World Wrestling Federation champion.
Finally!
I will guarantee you, did you hear what I said? Guarantee you, Stone Cold will no longer be the WWF champion.
It's even stronger. He's guaranteeing it.
I mean, you think about it. My God, he really shouldn't be the champion as we speak. Sure. Go ahead and cheer your little lungs out. Go ahead. You better do it while you can. You think about SummerSlam. The Undertaker dominated Austin. The Undertaker had the ability, he had the desire. My God, The Undertaker had an insurance policy. What did he do with that insurance policy? He sent Kane back to the locker room. Undertaker, you're a damned fool.
Whoa. That's pretty darn strong right there.
But I guess it was made all right because the next day after SummerSlam, there he is. There's Stone Cold Steve Austin on that hot new talk show, that cutting edge talk show, Regis and Kathy Lee. And what does Austin do then? Well, he says, God, it was such a hard-fought battle and whatever. And you know what? I really earned a lot of respect for The Undertaker. Isn't that heartwarming? Doesn't that make you feel all warm and fuzzy inside? Wow! Austin has respect for The Undertaker. Come on, Undertaker. I know somewhere in this building you can hear me. And I know your retarded brother Kane, or whatever his problem is, even though he can't talk, I know he can hear me too.
Whoa.
Come on. You two guys should strike terror in the hearts of every WWF superstar. You should dominate the World Wrestling Federation. Undertaker and Kane should terrorize the WWF. But instead, WWF superstars I think they're starting to snicker at your mere sight. They're not terrified any longer. Kane, you and Undertaker probably couldn't terrorize a kindergarten.
Oh, please.
You know what? Kane? Yeah?
What are they calling him?
Well, he's their favorite part of the anatomy.
That's class all the way. Undertaker and Kane have been reduced to nothing more than two putrid put.
What in the hell is he saying?
That's it. Two putrid put.
Uh-oh. Well, wait just a minute.
Get out of there!
And business is picking up here early. The Undertaker and Kane coming to the ring. And look at the owner of the WWF.
Watch it!
He's making a getaway.
Don't get out of there! Look, where's he going?
The Undertaker and Kane now following Mr. McMahon right through the crowd.
And in that crowd, he's taking his life in his own hands. Where's he going, JR?
I don't know where Mr. McMahon's going, but better be for high ground and
All right, so right from the start there, you have Vince McMahon. He comes out. He talks of having this master plan, this Machiavellian plan, and it will be revealed, and it's going to impact on the next pay-per-view, which is In Your House Breakdown on September 27th. And that'll be a date that will be mentioned numerous times over the course of the next couple of weeks. It's basically in every Vince McMahon promo. The announcers are on top of that date like crazy. September 27th, nonstop. And they haven't done that really with any of the other shows, saying the date constantly like that. So it stood out to me, definitely, hearing September 27th. So he says, on September 27th, there will be a physical and emotional breakdown. And who will feel this physical and emotional breakdown will be Stone Cold Steve Austin. McMahon's all smiles. He has this plan. And he's going to guarantee the audience that Stone Cold will not leave WWF champion on September 27th. And right at the beginning of the show, like 4 minutes in, and I had to bring this up because of what we talked about last week with the Stone Cold baby.
Yep.
There was actually a Stone Cold baby in attendance. There was like a little boy dressed up as Stone Cold.
It's awesome. It's awesome too. Kid has like knee pads on and shit.
Yeah.
A little vest. It's cute. It's good shit.
Yeah, that's
parenting done right.
Hell yeah. It's at 4 minutes, 4 seconds. So take a look at that. That's probably one of the best things that happens on this episode.
Yeah.
This baby Stone Cold.
It is ironic considering we just
talked about baby Stone Cold.
We just talk about it like it's nuts, and we don't watch these ahead of time, so that's a total coincidence.
That's pretty damn
good
cool.
shit.
Right, so McMahon claims Austin should not be the champion currently because the circumstances of the night before. Undertaker should have won that title and he should have had Kane on his side. He brings up the fact that that's your insurance policy, Undertaker. You left your insurance policy in the locker room, and then the line of the promo there was, Undertaker, you're a damn fool. So we start to get. What's that?
I like how when he comes out, he's like elated. He's very happy.
Oh yeah,
and he assures the crowd that they can't ruin his mood.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that doesn't last.
No, not at all. He's gonna get salty quick here.
Oh yeah. Right at this point, he's starting to get salty, where he's like, "Oh wow, Austin has respect for the Undertaker." He's like just being like big douche.
Yeah, he's like mocking him in a sense.
Right. So at that point, he calls out the Undertaker. He says, I know somewhere in this building you can hear me, Undertaker." And then this one threw me back when I was listening. He says, I know your retarded brother Kane. I can't just imagine McMahon saying something like that, but there it was. Yeah, he went that far. He went to that level, and immediately you get the crowd boos. And part of me was wondering, are these added in, or were people actually really that pissed that he said that back in 1998?
I don't know. I don't know. I forget because I was younger then, so I didn't. I don't think I was aware of what trigger words or what what do you call it, PC culture existed then, because PC culture then was a lot different than PC culture now.
Right.
We went over this in previous episodes, like how we feel about this word. It is a bad word, and it's not something that definitely not something they would use in today's television.
No.
But yeah, he gets kind of like nuclear heat from this.
Yeah, and at least it sounds like that. Yep.
Yeah.
Right away. Even Jerry Lawler is like, wow.
Yeah, like, dude, you're the owner of the company.
Right.
Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure then they were still doing a lot for like the Special Olympics and stuff.
Yeah, they were.
And all that, like, WWF, WWE, they've always been, known to give back to those that are less fortunate, or those that have learning disabilities, physical disabilities, etc. So it's weird to see that come out of his mouth.
Right. But even still, like,
to hear it come out of his mouth.
This is the time when you'd say, well, that's a character on TV. That's what I'm playing. Yeah. I don't really think that. That's my character. Whereas today, it seems like people don't distinguish between the character and the real person.
You're right, they don't, especially in sports entertainment, wrestling.
Right. Yeah, and I think a lot of that has to do with social media. So these guys, these wrestlers now are on social media, continuing their character, but also being themselves too. Like the lines are like totally blurred on whether or not you're the character and you're the actor. You know what I mean? The actual person. So they blend it. They'll post things about them as like a regular person, like, oh, I'm working out at the gym. Oh, this is my girlfriend, and then like later on, it's something that has to do with an angle in wrestling.
Yeah, and I don't agree with how some wrestlers, because some of them don't. Some of them actually had, like Cody Rhodes had his personal, when he was with WWF, he had his personal Twitter account, which was Prince CGR or something. And then he had his wrestling account, whether he was Stardust or Cody Rhodes WWE, etc.
Yep.
But he wouldn't show his personal life on his WWE accounts. If you wanted to see his personal life, see Brandy Rhodes, them going out doing their thing, not in character, you'd have to follow him on his Prince. I think it was like Cody CGR or something like that. But he had like a personal account where he saw his personal life. But now it's like you see these people on social media, for example, like Rusev. It's like sometimes he's in character as Rusev, and other times he's not on like Instagram and stuff.
Exactly.
So it's like, I don't know. I don't agree with that. And then then it makes it difficult for fans to kind of distinguish, right, what's character and what's not. You're really making it easy for them to attack you when you do something that they can kind of deem not character, even though you may claim you're in character.
Right. Or, if you do something that's politically incorrect because you want to try to build heat for your character, well, it might now affect your personal life because you have those blurred lines. You don't have that distinguishing. So, they're doing it all wrong, going about it wrong today. Whereas before, we didn't have the social media. Vince McMahon was Vince McMahon, the character, and that was it.
Yeah.
And, we knew it was an act, but it's just a different time.
Like nowadays, I don't think you'd see Vince McMahon. Like, say Twitter was there, not to get off topic here in a ramble, but there's really not much to talk about this episode anyway. But when, just thinking of Vince McMahon for say, let's say Twitter was around in 1998. Like, I would imagine Vince McMahon wouldn't be tweeting from his Vince McMahon, like, CEO of WWE, actual corporate account, saying stuff like this.
Right.
I'm sure he'd have like a heel McMahon. I would think he would, because he's a business savvy dude and he's a pretty intelligent guy.
Right.
He'd have a separate account to do that stuff. Yeah, Mr. McMahon. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's get back to it though.
Yep.
Yeah, different times, so those things will come up. And like we said last week, the Rock, who maybe one day could be president of the United States, he's going to be using a lot of language that he wouldn't have
Yeah.
if it was his personal. If he was going to be accused of being that way in his personal life. And people seem to forget their acting. But anyway, back to this. McMahon is egging on The Undertaker and Kane, and that's what he's trying to do. He's just trying to elicit a response from them to get fired up and pissed off, and because he wants to use them as a tool to wreak havoc throughout the WWF. So he says, you guys, you couldn't even terrorize a kindergarten class.
That's a good line.
So they start to get you get the crowd going, asshole, asshole. And McMahon even acknowledges it, says, that's classy. That's classy. But then McMahon becomes very classy the very next moment when he says, Undertaker and Kane, they just been reduced to nothing more than two putrid pussies. And then he repeats it, two putrid pussies. And it gets beeped out, of course, because this is taped. But the fact that he would even say that is shocking, too. So he said retard, he says pussies now.
You think maybe they, back to the point at the start of this segment where we were talking about the time that this episode aired, maybe they were a little bit more loose with language because they knew it was going to air at 11 o'clock at night?
Maybe. That's a good point.
That could have been a little bit more behind the scenes. Maybe it was a test. Who knows? We'll never know.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. I thought this was a pretty good segment because what you're seeing here is McMahon kind of grab the heel moniker back, because it's kind of been focused on Undertaker and Kane for the last couple weeks, and McMahon was starting to take a little backseat in that storyline. So this is kind of like a reminder that, hey, I'm the main bad guy here. I'm the asshole that you need to hate, and that's what this promo does. And it's shocking. He calls somebody a retard. He calls them pussies. So it's like, this guy's a dickhead. And then all the heat's back on McMahon again. And he's going to try to screw Stone Cold. He already says right from the beginning there, Stone Cold's not going to walk out September 27th with the title. So he's just building up a lot of heat here. And he's back into the main spot as the main heel on the show. Mr. McMahon character. So basically from there, what you have is Undertaker and Kane have a fire lit under their ass, and they're just going to go throughout the show doing run-ins. And like every single match, there's a run-in. Kane and Undertaker interfere against Blackman and Shamrock versus DOA. Kane comes down, he chokeslams Blackman. Taker and Kane beat the shit out of everybody in the ring. Undertaker comes down and they confront the DOA, and just more of this shit. So it's just like nonstop. So when I was getting to the point of side notes, I was like, there aren't really as many much side notes because Kane and Undertaker are involved in everything. It's whether it's Val Venus versus Vader, they show up there. Whether it's a Tiger Ali Singh promo where somebody's eating worms or whatever the fuck it was this time.
I think it was dog food.
Oh, actually, this was the one where Babu or Abu, whatever the hell his name is. And there is some confusion on what his name is because JR mixes it up a few times.
All right, so I wasn't hearing things because I'm like, is his name? They say like at least two different names.
Yeah, they said
like,
Abu and Babu. They said before.
Yeah.
And then even just recently on a Pritchard show that I listened to, he says Babu too. Like he remembers it as Babu. So they probably didn't know what the fuck to call him. But actually, in one of the graphics, it was written out. It was Abu with an A-B-U. But they even still said Babu after that. Not like it's fucking important. No one cares. But what he gets to do, though, in this segment is he gets to make out with a girl. He's supposed to have, like, sardine breath or something. The girl makes out with him.
They call her in from the crowd, and she's got, like, a white crop top on, and her fucking titties or nipples are, like, high beaming.
Right. Well, what apparently happened, and obviously not shown on this, was that it was a lot more hardcore than what we got to see. Apparently, he starts like sucking on her tits. Shit.
What? All right. 'Cause that's another thing I have in my notes here. After they're done making out in the ring, her nipples are even harder.
Yeah. So there was
I was
a
like,
point.
oh wow, she really like this chick got off like kissing him with all that shit in his mouth. But that explains it. What they didn't show on the air.
Yeah, he's like starts kissing her breast and everything. And that's
No
from
kidding.
And that's from the Pritchard show. That's what he said was happening.
Yeah, so
Some crazy shit. So she was in the audience. She showed her tits a couple of times, and then they brought her in. And then, I mean, I don't know if she was like just like somebody they hired. Probably, I would imagine it was somebody they hired.
Of course.
But, she probably didn't mind getting her titty sucked.
Yeah. Good paycheck.
Yeah,
It was the 90s.
right.
It was
And it
cool
wasn't
to do
good-
stupid shit for money.
And it was going to be taped, so they didn't care. They just cut it
Yeah.
out. Not going to play until almost a week later at 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock in the morning.
Plenty of time to edit.
Yeah. So basically, it's just a bunch of run-ins. I don't want to go through them all. It's just basically whatever match was happening, Undertaker and Kane were coming down by the end of it. So that's about it.
But you know what the low of this episode is before we get into the next one?
What's that?
The freaking Insane Clown Posse.
Ah, that's right.
They're on the show. I hate them. I hated them. I hated them when I was a kid. I don't know why.
You weren't a juggalo?
I hated the whole juggalo thing. I don't know if it's because like they were just people I didn't like as kids that were into that, and I was like, "Fuck the IC!" Like I just hated them. I hated their music. I didn't like anything about them. I was not a fan of the Insane Clown Posse.
Nah, I wasn't really either.
And I know they have like a cult-like following in like wrestling fandom.
Yeah, because
They had like their own promotion or something, but
yeah, that's right. And some of their music had references to wrestling
yeah,
because they're big.
there was like
fans,
one
obviously.
song I remember was a little catchy, but I hated their whole act, their whole thing. Like these guys are trash.
The only song that I remember is "The Great Malenko."
Yeah,
I
that
always
one.
thought of
I didn't
Dean
mind that
Malenko.
one. Yeah, same here. That's why I like.
And it was probably named after his father.
Yeah,
The Great Malenko, Great Boris Malenko.
Yes. His dad was Boris Malenko. But the worst part is LOD, one of the greatest tag teams of all time, is stuck in a fucking, triangle match or whatever it was with the Insane Clown Posse and the fucking Oddities. This is the Legion of Doom. They got fucking Hawk, who's in like street clothes in the match, a fucking mess. They're trying to get draws over.
Yeah.
And poor Animal's probably just like, fuck. Just like,
It's
get me the hell out of here.
What the fuck am I doing
What
here?
the hell happened? Yeah, like the year prior, they were still like, they looked like they were going to have a place in the Attitude Era.
Once they changed them to LOD 2000, it was over.
Yeah, once you put 2000 on anything, give up. It's over.
Yeah, you ruined it. It sucks.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure if we had the time, we could brainstorm other things in the 90s that were they just put the 2000 on it, dude. That's cool.
Well, how about
It ended up being terrible.
WrestleMania 2000?
That sucked.
Yeah, they went from WrestleMania 15, then for WrestleMania 16, it was WrestleMania 2000.
WrestleMania 2000.
Because it's the year 2000. Like, fuck off. Who cares? The year is.
No one cares.
And
Fuck 2000.
The funny
Just a
thing
number.
is so many people are so stupid to the fact that the year 2000 was not the beginning of the next millennium or even the next century, whatever. Because the new century or the new millennium starts in the 01 year.
Yep.
You count up to 100, right? 100's not the beginning. 100's the end,
The end. Yep.
right? So
No, I agree. I remember there was one of my teachers made that point in high school.
yeah, because
It's not the beginning, it's the end. Might have been like Mr. Mullally or something.
yeah, because I was class of 2001, so I know all the kids are like class of 2000 were like, yeah, we're graduating 2000, like it was a big fucking deal. It's like it's not even anything.
Yeah. Nobody fucking cares. You know what? Guess who cares? Fucking 2019. Nobody. Nobody cares.
I graduated 2000. Who cares?
Oh yeah. Cool. If that's all you've got to bring to the table in conversation,
Right.
kick rocks. Just fucking exit stage left.
And if you say you're the first class of the new millennium, well, you were wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. It's even worse.
Yeah. All right, so let's get now into Sunday Night Heat. This is episode 6 of Sunday Night Heat, and this was the very next day. This is September 6th, 1998. This is from the same recording, from the same taping as the Raw we just went over. And like I said previously, this is where a lot of the best stuff is happening because it's in a better time slot for people to view it. Rather than Saturday at 11 o'clock at night, this is coming on at Sunday, 7 o'clock at night. So the things that they really want the fans to watch will be on during Sunday Night Heat for the next couple of weeks. So what we got first off is Kane and Undertaker. They're going to beat the shit out of LOD 2000, which is Angel and Draws in this case. And Vince McMahon's on the stage like he's the maestro, directing all the choke slams and reenacting the choke slams. And he's acting like he's controlling what they do in the ring.
Yeah, you might think this guy owns the company or something.
Yeah. And then just a little while later, like halfway through the show, just a little bit more than halfway through the show, Kane and Undertaker come out with Patterson and Briscoe. They're grabbing them by the neckties, and they get rolled into the ring. Undertaker calls out McMahon, says he's going to give him 10 seconds. McMahon doesn't come out right away, or he doesn't even really come out at all. And Kane and Undertaker beat on the Stooges, and they both get double choke slammed. McMahon's kind of just let him get beat down. Like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm not going out there to help them.
Let his boys get fucking destroyed.
You're my Stooges, so yeah, take an ass whooping.
Yeah.
Pretty much. All right, now we got Vince McMahon. He's going to come out. He's going to cut a little promo about his master plan. Okay, so he gave us a little idea of his master plan. You know, it will come to fruition on September 27th when Austin loses his title. But now we're going to get some more details about that. So take a listen to Vince McMahon and his master plan.
Well, many of you must be wondering, why is Vince McMahon wearing black?
Well, you look great in black, though, Pop.
Actually, I'm wearing black because I'm in mourning. Yes, Vince McMahon is in mourning. I'm in... What's that? You too will be in mourning soon enough.
Crowd chanting for Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I'm in mourning because on September 27, Stone Cold Steve Austin's reign as the WWF champion will die.
How does he know that? We heard that last night as well.
And in a moment, I will be further addressing Stone Cold Steve Austin, but right now, Undertaker.
What are they saying?
Hey. No, it's very, very disrespectful.
Undertaker, I understand you and Kane are looking for me. I'm obviously not too hard to find.
Yeah, you tell him, Pop.
Mr. McMahon is a sitting duck, for the lack of a better term. If he thinks he's going to turn back the challenge of Kane and The Undertaker here.
What do you mean sitting duck? Mr. McMahon, my Pop can handle himself. Ooh.
Why do you go on national television and call two monsters wussies twice? Something's up, and The Undertaker and Kane mean business. This is not going to be a social visit. And Mr. McMahon is going to create some distance between himself and those two demons. And who can blame him for that?
All I'm asking you, just wait.
Oh, God! Oof. Damn!
I know you can destroy me within the blink of an eye. I'm just asking you for one thing. I want to apologize. I want to publicly and humbly apologize for my remarks to you, Undertaker, and to you, Kane. There's no question now in anyone's mind, you are the single most destructive force in the history of the World Wrestling Federation. And I apologize for my remarks, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart.
See that sincerity, JR? That's sincerity.
Undertaker, I truly believe that you deserve another opportunity to be the WWF champion. I do. I believe, Undertaker, you deserve a rematch. And Kane, you're equally destructive, Kane. Kane, you deserve an opportunity to once again wear the World Wrestling Federation Championship. And the only thing right now missing with this equation is the current WWF champion. And Stone Cold Steve Austin, if you have the guts to come out here and stand before Vince McMahon, come on down.
Well, here he comes. The rattlesnake is not afraid of any living being. And there's the man, the WWF champion. Is this some sort of elaborate trap?
It's the master plan, JR.
Well, what is the damn master plan?
Well, I think we're about to find out here. That's what it's all about. Vince's master plan.
All the combustible elements are before you as we speak here on Sunday Night Heat. You can feel the animosity. You can feel the tension. Your dad's expression changed. These thousands of fans on their feet chanting for Austin.
Austin, for the life of me, I have no idea what these fans see in you. I haven't a clue. I have no idea why they stand behind you. The fact of the matter is that you've disrespected Vince McMahon for the very last time.
You tell him, Pop. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let me tell you something. You've mocked my authority for the very last time, Pally.
Yeah, Pally.
There's absolutely no redeeming social or otherwise any value whatsoever that you bring to the World Wrestling Federation. Not one. And that's why, Austin, on Sunday, September 27, you're going to defend the World Wrestling Federation Championship. You're going to defend the championship against Kane.
Wow, Kane beat Austin, the king of the ring, for the title.
And let me tell you something else, Austin. On September 27, you're going to defend the WWF Championship against The Undertaker.
What?
This is getting good.
Two matches?
Let me break it down for you, Austin. Okay, it's real simple. On Sunday night, September 27, Austin, you're going to defend the WWF Championship against both The Undertaker and Kane in a triple threat match.
Well, that's not fair.
A win is not fair. A win. Brilliant plan. Brilliant master plan.
Austin is doomed. Austin can't survive that against these two monsters.
Hallelujah.
All right, so Vince McMahon comes out there. He's all dressed in black. I don't know if his outfit was exactly like what I'm thinking, but he reminded me of the principal from The Breakfast Club with a black button-down shirt and the hair.
Yeah, like the style of it.
Yeah.
Even the haircut. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
He definitely reminds me of the hell's his name? Bender? No, Bender's the kid.
My brother would know. He knows that
Fuck.
movie like word for word. But he has the low. You mess with the bull, you get the horns.
Yeah,
Right?
right.
What the hell's his name? That's not Ed Rooney, is it?
No, Ed Rooney's from Ferris Bueller.
All right.
The fuck did I write that for? I'm searching for it right now. I put in principal from. I was gonna put Breakfast Club, but I put Breaking Bad, and it showed the hot Spanish girl who's the principal.
Oh yeah. That he tries hitting on.
Right. What's his name? Oh, Vernon, Principal Vernon, Dick Vernon.
I'm looking at it. It does look like him.
Oh, he's the assistant principal. Oh, I thought he was just the principal.
No, that's why he's stuck doing fucking detention in Saturday school, or whatever the fuck it was.
Guess that makes sense.
Assistant.
Right.
Principal's out golfing or doing something.
That makes more sense.
Wine and cheese dinner or something. Yeah.
All right, so back to what McMahon had to say. He's got his black on because he's mourning. He's mourning that Austin's title reign will come to an end on September 27th. There it is again, September 27th. You get the asshole chance again, of course. It's the same crowd that he spoke to earlier. They still got that asshole chant out. And Kane and Undertaker make their way out. And McMahon's going to apologize for calling them putrid pussies. And he kisses their ass at this point. He calls them the most destructive force in the history of the WWF. He says, Undertaker, I believe you deserve a rematch. And Kane, you deserve an opportunity once again to wear the WWF Championship. And Vince calls out Austin, if you had the guts to stand out here before Vince McMahon, come on down. Like Austin's not going to come out. Like Austin's ever afraid of Vince McMahon calling him out. Austin's like, yeah, all right. So the moment he's done calling Austin out, that music hits, and he's right out there immediately. The crowd is super hot for Austin because they've just been through almost 3 hours of recording, and there's been no Austin. So roof fucking blows up for Austin coming out here finally at the end of this Sunday Night Heat taping.
Yeah, they're definitely hot for him. They've been sitting on their hands the whole time, basically waiting for him to come out. So,
where the fuck's Austin? Where's Austin? Where's Austin?
Yeah,
now he finally comes out there.
I do want to point out at the start of this this promo, there's a guy in the stands that has a fucking really cool Stone Cold sign. So, listeners, if you go back and watch this episode prior to this promo from Vince McMahon on his master plan, there's a guy front row. It's almost like a full size cutout that the dude handmade of Stone Cold. It's really cool.
That was really cool. I'd see that. And the funny thing with Vince McMahon, he notices the crowd reaction. And he even responds to it. He says, I have no idea what these fans see in you. Then he goes on from there. You disrespected Vince McMahon for the very last time. You mocked my authority for the last time, Pally. That even reminds me of something that the principal from Breakfast Club would say.
Yeah, it does. Such a shitty word to use.
Pally, you're going to be here for the next 5 years in Saturday school. Pally. Say it again. I'll give you another one. Go ahead. Say it. All right, that's two. That's two more. Fine, that's 3
more, Pally.
That's never a good way to deal with a kid, is just to let him keep getting mad. And say, okay, there's another one then. Then.
These kids are stupid, so they'll just keep going.
Right.
They don't think of the consequence. They didn't think of the consequence the first time. They're not going to think of it the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, or seventh time.
So here we go. We got September 27th. On Sunday, September 27th, you're going to defend Austin, the WWF Championship against Kane. Well, let me tell you something else. On Sunday, September 27th, you're going to defend the championship against The Undertaker. It's going to be a triple threat match. What I liked about this is just weeks ago, Austin had said to Undertaker and Kane, he says, I know I don't have much of a chance against the two of you, so that's why you're going to have to keep your eyes open. Okay, keep your eyes behind your head open, or whatever the fuck, something to that effect. And I'm going to take one of you out. So they took from that line that Austin can't beat both of them, and he even admitted it. he could take one of them. He could take Undertaker, but he wouldn't be able to take Kane and Undertaker at the same time. So now Vince McMahon uses that as, this is how I could get the title off of him. He said he can't beat both of them, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put him in a match with both of them. Triple threat match. So
yeah, I agree. This is great storytelling, which you're good at bringing this up in almost every episode, how WWE is good at remembering seeds that they planted previously and then capitalizing on that, stories coming full circle.
Right, there's continuity in the story.
Yeah, another one of those examples.
Things. Yeah.
Yep. Like the last episode. Yeah, the last episode you had said, they showed the hearse at the beginning and you knew they were going to use it. So it's,
right.
It's good that WWE's, a lot of the shit they do, and even like little words like Stone Cold used previously, they capitalize on that in the future.
Yep. And just recently, WWE put out a new position. It's like a continuity coordinator and like a script reviewer or something like that is in charge of making sure that storylines are being followed and there's continuity to all the stories, and that things that I mentioned in previous weeks get brought up again in later weeks, and that like each episode is continuing part of a storyline that was already used. So that's something they're trying to go back to, and they want somebody they hire somebody for it. So
that's the worst part of the there's plenty of bad things with the current product, but
that's a good
storytelling. There's no continuity. So if they can do shit like this where they can kind of keep you in, it's a thing with WWE nowadays. It's hard to get invested into, like, emotionally invested into any storyline, because they just, they'll just fucking change course at the fucking, drop of a dime. They don't care.
Yeah. No, one thing, again, with social media, to get back to that, is that you can miss out on things happening in stories just because you didn't go on Twitter or Instagram or something, because things could happen on there that in between 1 week of Raw and the next week of Raw, you're like, what the hell happened? Oh, this happened on social media. What the fuck? I don't, can't I just watch a damn show and know what's going on?
And that's a bad use of social media, because people are on social media. They're not, even wrestling fans, they're not on it just for wrestling. Like, I have wrestling on social media, but I also have basketball, I have baseball, I have video games, I have comic books. So, like, you're only getting, it's easy to miss it.
Right.
So you should keep core story plot points on television, and that's it.
Right. When you're telling a story, it needs to be on television. For other things like football, baseball, yeah, you're on Twitter so you can hear about, like, injury reports and trades.
Yeah, but that's different.
Right, that's totally different. That's not they're like, oh, you're not going to be like, I missed the Red Sox game. I didn't know he was injured in that last game. I'm so shocked now. It's like, no, it's totally different.
Yeah, and that's a nonfiction.
Right, exactly. You can't do fiction on social media as a story
it just
form.
Doesn't work. You don't see other, like, shows, Game of Thrones, Walking Dead, because that's what this is at its core.
Right,
it's a show. So keep the story on the big screen on television.
Yeah, imagine that. Like, you make sure you check out the Game of Thrones Twitter feed. Someone died. Someone died. You gotta go on Twitter to find out who it was. You're not gonna see it in the show. It's just this person's gone now.
Yeah, it's only on Twitter and Instagram Live.
Yeah. What? Tyrion Lannister is no longer with the show. His character died off in between this episode and episode 4. Sorry, guys. No more Tyrion.
Like, I get it. They were trying to be ahead of the curve, do something a little different, think outside the box, but it hasn't worked since they've tried it, and they still, beat that dead horse. So
yeah. All right, let's get into Raw 276, which is probably one of the shittiest Raws ever, along with the last one we just watched. But
this one's awful.
Yeah, this one's horrible. This is Raw Saturday night, another Saturday night, 276 from September 12th, 1998. They recorded it, or taped it rather, on September 1st, 1998. So
this is in Lowell. This was in Lowell, Mass.
Yes, that's okay. That's what I thought. The Lowell, Mass ones always seem to suck.
Yeah.
I mean, you did have some good things here and there, but like with Shawn Michaels lost his smile and lol. That kind of sucked too. Actually,
Yeah, I
think
mean,
of
it was at one segment.
Yeah.
I mean, the best thing that probably happened in Lowell was when Samoa Joe beat Finn Balor for the NXT title.
Oh yeah.
In a house show. It wasn't on. It wasn't on TV. So that title change happened. Basically, you saw that through cell phone coverage that people had at the show. Because if you recall, that's the one where our crew, me, you, Rob, Patrick, Eric, Brian,
went to Warwick.
We went to not Warwick.
Not Warwick. URI.
URI, wherever URI is, whatever fucking town that is.
No, not Cranston. Yeah,
not
whatever.
Cranston. It's fucking out. Kingston.
Kingston.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, it's funny though. We're just saying, oh yeah, you're not supposed to do that for wrestling on social media, and then you're like, well, that's how you found out about Samoa Joe winning the title was through Twitter and social media.
But in their defense, that is NXT,
right? That's different.
It's a little different for them.
Every once in a while,
sell tickets a little differently at their those tapings and shit. So
yeah, I like the idea of anything could happen at a live event.
Me too. Yeah. That's how you sell more tickets.
Right. So
as
long
why I
as
don't go to live events, there's not any significant to them. It's like nothing big's going to happen, nothing important that's going to play out in the actual core story for any character.
Right. Well, that's why live events are good for bringing kids to.
Yep, I agree.
They just want to see the wrestlers. They don't give a shit. They don't know.
No.
I mean, they know the stories, but they're not expecting anything great either. They're just happy to see the wrestlers.
Yep.
I remember going to live events, house shows, when I was 9, 8 years old, and it was just, oh, cool. I knew in my mind, this is just a house show. It's not on TV. It's not recorded, so it's not going to be anything special, but it's still cool just to be right there seeing the wrestlers. And part of it, too, it's like, oh, this is only happening here. No one else sees this other than me and the people that are here.
Yep.
So there is some intimacy to it. All right, but let's get into this Raw here from Lowell. You have a totally different set. It looks like it's a live event show. They don't have the ramp set up for Raw. It's pretty much like they ran into this issue where, all right, we know we're going to have to tape Raw for these 2 weeks, and both of them are going to be for Saturday shows, but we can't get the set. We can't get the set for Tuesday. So they didn't have the Raw set. Yeah, actually, I did want to mention the last Raw. The last Raw is the first time that on Raw you have the padded guardrails that they still use today. So no longer do you have those metal guardrails with the holes in between them. You're now using those padded guardrails all the way across. So that's a big change in look.
Can't kick wrestlers anymore, front row.
That's right. Those things, though, when the wrestlers get tossed into those things just fold up and bang into people's knees. So definitely some issues there with those old school guardrails.
Yeah,
these new ones,
they're like bike racks.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, those were first used last week on Raw, and actually they made their debut at SummerSlam. So SummerSlam was used for the first time. What you have here though on this Raw, not a whole lot. So we're gonna breeze right through this. There's a bunch of matches, which it doesn't make for a good Raw. But it does have that live event feel where it's just match, basically throughout the whole show. Doesn't have that regular Raw formula where you're getting the opening, you're getting kind of a setup by Vince McMahon or Austin coming out, and you're not really even having segments throughout the night in between. It's just a totally different feel of Raw. And it just seems like a filler Raw. All right, let's just get through this one. We're going to be live on Raw on Monday in 2 days, so why would we do anything crazy on this one? Let's just put some content out, and they'll like it or they won't like it, but they won't miss anything if they don't watch it, and we'll be back live on Monday. So yeah, it's just kind of a filler here. They show a video package of Austin versus Kane versus Undertaker, the triple threat that they're building up to, and everything that's going on with them. That's pretty good. With that said, though, that's like the highlight of the night is that video package.
A video package of shit you've already seen.
Right. And I guess one other good thing is, and this is going to build from this point on, it's The Rock calling out Kane and Undertaker. He calls them pieces of trash, and he's going to lay the smackdown on Kane's candy ass on Sunday Night Heat, which is the next night.
Yeah, it's The Rock putting his horse in the race, putting himself into the putting his foot in the main event.
Right, exactly.
Picture.
Yep, this is the beginning of The Rock being in the main event picture here. So that's it for Raw. That was the quickest Raw coverage ever. And now we move on to Sunday Night Heat number 7. This is September 13th, 1998, recorded the same night as that shitty Raw from Lowell. So what you got here is Ken Shamrock's going to come out, and he wants a title shot anytime, any place. So he challenges Austin, which kind of out of nowhere. All right. We got this Undertaker Kane thing going on, but now Shamrock wants to jump in the mix and get a title match. So, okay. That's going to happen on Raw the next night. Sable's going to challenge Jacqueline to an even gown match, which I'm excited about. And you also have Kane and Undertaker tag team match. They beat Mark Henry and D'Lo Brown. Then we get to an Austin promo. So Austin's here, and just like the night before, the crowd's been waiting for Austin all night. They finally get to see him during the Sunday Night Heat taping, and they're going to blow up for him. So take a listen to what Austin has to say. We also got a new shirt alert, too. Pretty cool. Camo shirt. Professional ass kicker shirt. You got the Stone Cold Skull with camo.
Yeah, this is the debut of Austin's infatuation with camouflage stuff.
That's true. Yeah. He probably helped design this one.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, put some camouflage on it.
It's badass. All right, so take a listen to what Austin has to say here. We'll talk about it on the other side.
Say the very, very least.
At SummerSlam, at the Highway to Hell, I beat The Undertaker fair and square right in the center of this ring. And I give The Undertaker credit because he said that he wanted me one-on-one, and he sent Kane back during the match and proved that he wasn't lying to Stone Cold Steve Austin. So I respect him for that. I came out on national TV the next day and said how tough I thought The Undertaker was, and again, that I respected his ability. Then Vince McMahon comes out here and basically makes it sound like I was kissing The Undertaker's. That's the last thing in the world I was doing, and I will say this. If The Undertaker thinks, shut up, punk. In a triple threat match, Undertaker, Kane, Stone Cold Steve Austin, respect or no respect, you ain't gonna get no more Mr. Nice Guy from Stone Cold Steve Austin, because I will not. I will not give Vince McMahon the satisfaction of seeing some son of a from back there take this belt from me.
Man, he means it too.
Well, we'll find out in 2 weeks.
As far as Kid Shamrock goes, coming out here belly aching that he ain't never had but one title shot. Hell, son, when you were in the UFC, once again, I respected your ability. But hell, on the UFC, this is the World Wrestling Federation. If you want a title shot against Stone Cold Steve Austin, bring your little blue trunks out here, and I'll beat your in front of the world.
Yeah, let's do it, JR. That rattlesnake never, ever backs down from anybody, anytime, anywhere.
You got to give Austin his props for
Shamrock,
that.
I know you're back there. If you want your title shot, come on down.
Well, here he comes, the world's most dangerous man, the toughest SOB in the WWF. Are they going to get it on right here?
JR? The World Wrestling Federation Championship.
It's the richest prize in this game. And to say you're a true superstar in this industry, at some point, you have to have worn that title. And here comes Mr. McMahon and his buddies.
Yeah, Pops! What up? Vinnie Mac in the house!
Briscoe, Patterson, and Slaughter with the boss, Mr. McMahon. Austin wants the mic.
Vince, I can't get one of these jacks to ring the bell, so you get your little carcass over there and ring the damn bell. We're going to start this match.
Well, Austin's ready to go here. We're out of television time.
Well, I don't think this is part of the master plan, but from the look at my dad's face, maybe it is.
All right, so Austin comes out there. He makes it a point right away. It says, at SummerSlam, I beat The Undertaker fair and square in the ring. And he said Kane wasn't going to interfere. He respects Undertaker for that, because he kept his word that Kane didn't interfere, and he made sure that he sent his ass to the back. And he says, oh, Vince McMahon came out here and made it seem like I was kissing The Undertaker's ass. That's the last thing I would do. And then off screen, somebody must have yelled something at Austin. But at 43 minutes, Austin turns and he says, shut up, punk, to somebody in the audience. So you got a pretty unruly audience here that Austin even has to like kind of break from what he's saying to say, shut up, punk.
Yeah, because you can't really hear it come over on TV. Like I thought either someone said something or he just did that to kind of catch his thoughts.
Yeah, he could do
because he's a pro like that. But I then I realized, I'm like, nah, someone said something in the crowd.
Probably. But yeah, that's a good point to think that he might do that, because he probably would do something like that. But maybe not in this instance. All right, so he says it's going to be a triple threat match. You ain't getting no more Mr. Nice Guy. I will not give Vince McMahon the satisfaction of seeing some son of a bitch take this belt from me. And then he moves on to Shamrock, and I like this. This is funny. Because as far as Ken Shamrock goes, coming out here, belly aching that he never had a title. He never had but one title shot. I think that was against Bret Hart, right? Yeah, Bret Hart's last match before Survivor Series was against Ken Shamrock.
You're right. Yep.
That was his title shot. So he says, I respected you in the UFC, but this is the WWF. You want a title shot? Well, bring your little blue trunks out here, and I'll beat your ass in front of the world. So again, that's just Austin like picking up on something that he probably just saw in the back. He probably saw Shamrock wearing little blue trunks. Bring your little blue trunks out here, little bitch.
Because I always think of him as like a mini wrestler. It's like, look at this little guy come out. He's got little trunks. Even though they're not little, obviously, but
no.
Anytime Stone Cold says, because he uses that a lot.
Yeah, he loves to use little, just to like downgrade whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like Vince McMahon's little knees. It's the little knees. All right, so Shamrock does come down with his little blue trunks, and Shamrock just starts yelling at Austin, motioning, I want the belt, give me the belt, I want that belt. And then you get the refs kind of like separate them and calm down Shamrock. McMahon and the Stooges are going to head out right around that same time, and Austin wants McMahon to ring the damn bell, get this match started so we can settle this, but the show goes off the air right at that point. I don't know what happened after. Somebody probably came out of nowhere, and Austin had a quick match. That's generally what would happen. Or fucking Austin and Shamrock tag teamed against Kane and Undertaker. Something like that. But anyway, we'll move on now to the next Raw, Raw 277. This is Raw live from San Jose, California. So finally, since SummerSlam, it's 2 weeks later, you now have a Raw that's live. And apparently the ratings for this were great. And because people have been waiting for a live Raw, this is the first time that they're going head-to-head with Nitro in a while. So they wanted to make sure that this was jam-packed. And watching this, I just kept saying to myself, this is like fucking awesome. This is probably one of the best Raws, top to bottom, that we've watched in a while. Okay, it's not the most memorable. It's not like a whole lot of great things happen, but just in general, as an episode of Raw, pretty damn solid. It's kind of like on the level of a pay-per-view. The way it was formatted, too, where you're having matches that actually mean something, like where there's a story for most of these matches that's been building up. So it's kind of like a pay-per-view for free on a Monday night. That's how I felt about it.
No, I thought it was really good top to bottom. It's got good matches. It's got good promos. It's got good vignettes. It's video packages. It's a damn good episode.
Sure was. I mean, it's going to start off with a nice promo. Vince McMahon. Yeah, he's got Kane, Undertaker. Austin's going to come out. So to start the show, it's pretty hot. Okay, people have been waiting for Austin McMahon confrontations, not having to watch them just on Sunday Night Heat. You finally get it back here on Raw. So let's take a listen to that, and then we'll talk about it after.
Listen. Well, he's irate. Is the boss.
I'm damn sick and tired of watching you walk around with that WWF Championship belt.
Whoa!
And on Sunday night, September 27, I won't have to see it again. Most of you know that recently I announced a master plan that would guarantee that Stone Cold Steve Austin on Sunday night, September 27, would lose the WWF Championship.
He's coming right out and telling it like it is, JR.
Most of you also know, and yet a further statement that on this night of Sunday night, September 27, I've ordered a triple threat match in which Stone Cold Steve Austin will defend the WWF title against both The Undertaker and Kane.
Wow. Impossible odds for anyone to overcome.
However, what none of you know, especially you, Austin, is that there's been a little business arrangement here, as you might suspect. You see, I've granted The Undertaker and Kane a title shot, but they're going to do a little something for me as well. You see, business is business. Don't get me wrong. There's no love lost between Vince McMahon and The Undertaker and Kane. I will never forgive or forget what you've done. However, it's real simple, Austin. You see, I scratch their back and they scratch mine.
What's he talking about now?
Or maybe I shouldn't say they scratch my back. Maybe I should say they protect my back.
Huh?
You see, Austin, if you so much as lay one finger on me, one or both of these two monsters will be all over you. They'll annihilate you.
He's bought protection, JR. That's what he's doing.
Which is what's going to happen on Sunday night, September the 27th. Anyhow, you're going to be annihilated. Now, why is it that Vince McMahon can guarantee to the public that the WWF title is going to change hands? Well, a number of reasons, but principal among them is this new stipulation in this triple threat match. A stipulation that was added just a moment ago, and that is, Undertaker, you are prohibited from defeating your brother Kane in this match.
What?
And Kane, you are absolutely prohibited from defeating your brother, The Undertaker, in this match. You see, this is not a normal triple threat match. No. Now let me see. If my addition is correct, I would say, in all likelihood, hey, this could be 2 against 1.
Duh.
You
Can he
see,
do that?
Austin, you won't do business. You refuse to do business. You won't do things the easy way, like Undertaker and Kane. No, 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 no. You've got to do things the hard way. You've got to do things your way. So have it your way, all right? And on Sunday night, September 27, Austin, when you're flat on your back, looking up at these ring lights, and there's been an announcement that you are no longer the WWF champion, I want you to remember one thing. And that is Vince McMahon didn't screw Stone Cold Steve Austin. Oh no, not at all. Stone Cold screwed Stone Cold.
No! Oh, Austin knocks it out of McMahon. Look at this! And the Undertaker and Kane now. Undertaker and Kane providing the protection for Mr. McMahon. And look at the Undertaker and Kane trying to take Austin apart here. Look at McMahon. He's orchestrating this whole thing. The master plan comes full circle here. Stone Cold Steve Austin, just like we'll see in 13 days at Breakdown, 1 man versus 2. And what we're seeing here is that's a futile fight. 1 man has no chance against 2, especially not 2 monsters like this. Oh! Double choke slam. Look at McMahon. He's mocking Stone Cold Steve Austin. He gave him the... Did you see that, JR? I saw what he did. How hideous can a human being be? What is Mr. McMahon thinking? There's no way Austin can survive against these 2 monsters. Oh, God! I'll tell you what McMahon's thinking. He's thinking that on September 27th, Stone Cold Steve Austin will no longer be a thorn in the side of Vince McMahon. He'll no longer be the WWF champion. And I'll tell you one thing. September 27th is a day you want to mark on your calendar. I got a feeling this is going to be a hellacious night for each and every one of us on this ride, especially the Rattlesnake. What else could Mr. McMahon have in store tonight for Stone Cold Steve Austin? Look at Mr. McMahon. How smug, how cocky he can be with those 2 guys watching his back. Oh, we haven't seen the last of this triumphant on a night where we have our first evening match.
Austin,
Oh, listen.
nothing personal. It's just business.
And speaking of business, we may not have to wait till Sunday night, September 27, because in that very ring tonight, you will defend the WWF title against the world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock.
What? My God, what else? What else are they going to do to Austin here tonight?
All right, so when this Raw starts, it's just like right off the bat. They don't even do the opening Raw, the opening theme. They don't even do that. McMahon, Kane, and Undertaker are already just in the ring, and Austin music just pops off right away. So they're not wasting any time getting started here. So Austin comes out there. McMahon is yelling, "Shut that music off! Shut that music off!" And he's in a really pissy mood here. He's like, "I'm damn sick and tired of seeing you walk around with that WWF Championship belt. And on September 27th, I won't have to see it again." So there we go. September 27th. It's kind of like the WWE Network. $9.99. $9.99. $9.99.
That's funny.
Just September 27th. September 27th. It's like, shit, this better be a damn good pay-per-view. I'm fucking sick of hearing about the date. Breakdown. So Vince McMahon comes out. He's like, I got my master plan. I announced the master plan that would guarantee that Stone Cold would lose his championship. So he's kind of rehashing right now all the things that we've talked about how it's going to be a triple threat match. It's Undertaker, Kane. Well, he's going to add a stipulation to it that he hasn't said yet. Okay, and like I said, he's reiterating it because people most likely may have not watched Raw on the Saturday nights, or even watched the Sunday Night Heat. So some of these people haven't seen anything since SummerSlam, maybe. So he kind of has to set the table again for everybody. So he brings out all that, he points that out, and there's a business arrangement now with Kane and Undertaker that they got my back. So if you touch me, they'll annihilate you. Trust me, they'll annihilate you. And Vince McMahon goes on, I can guarantee you will lose the title because of this new stipulation. And this new stipulation is fucking dumb.
It's so flawed. It's so inherently flawed. They do a really good job during the Attitude Era of not having, loopholes. I don't even know what to call it, but pretty much shitty writing or booking even.
Right, the booking, yeah.
Yeah, but this is stupid. Yeah, but the crowd doesn't even realize it either. So.
No, right. It sounds good.
Cheering.
Right. But when you think about it, it's like, that doesn't make any sense. And what he's saying is, and you just heard it, but, Kane and Undertaker are prohibited from pinning each other. Then McMahon says, if my addition is correct, this could mean that it's 2 against 1. Like, okay, I guess, for that aspect, all right, they're going to have to go after Austin. They need to beat Austin to win. So they're going to be pounding on Austin. They can't pin each other, so they're not going to beat each other up because they can't pin each other. So they're just going to focus all their attention on Austin. That's what they're trying to get across, basically. Yeah. But what does McMahon really want to do? He wants... What?
No, yeah, I know what you're going to say. He wants the belt off Austin. It's not. He doesn't want Austin's ass kicked. That's just like a bonus,
right?
But he wants his fucking award, which he owns, the fucking WWF title, off out of his hands. He doesn't want him to represent the company anymore.
Right. So under traditional triple threat rules that they've had in the past, whoever pins anybody would win the title. So why would you change that stipulation if all you really want is Austin not to have the title? Because then you could get into the situation where Kane could pin The Undertaker, win the title, or Undertaker could pin Kane and win the title. None of them would even have to pin Austin, and the title is off of Austin.
Yep.
Fucking dumb. Okay, so first part of it, okay, but it's almost like they didn't consider that. Or they just thought that the crowd would be too dumb to even think about it. Who knows? But yeah, kind of flawed there. So I just thought, hey, do it that way. Get the title off of Austin. Bam. That's it. Well, that's illogical in their mind, I guess. So what you have here is it's going to be basically a handicap match, not following triple threat, the standard triple threat rules. And they're going to be going to September 27th, as they continue to say here. And Mankind. What the fuck am I saying here? McMahonkind.
McMahonkind.
And with that said, Mankind hasn't been around in a couple of weeks here. But yeah, he'll be coming back soon. We'll be getting back to him in just a few moments. But Vince McMahon, rather, said, I want you to remember one thing when you're flat on your back on September 27th. Vince McMahon didn't screw Stone Cold. Oh, no, not at all. Stone Cold screwed Stone Cold. Which, I get it. I want to try to elicit that response of, the heat that he got with McMahon. But this doesn't fit at all because Stone Cold didn't do anything to screw himself. So
he just wanted to use that line.
Yeah.
Call back to him.
Exactly.
That was basically the line that turned him heel.
Right.
Brett
really.
screwed Brett,
Yeah. No, you're right. That's probably what it is.
But just because you want to use something doesn't mean you should.
Right, exactly. Doesn't always fit.
Yeah, you forced it, bro.
Yeah. So immediately Austin nails him right away after he says that to him. And then Kane and Undertaker start stomping on Austin. You got McMahon. He's playing the maestro again, directing the attack. Austin's going to get double choke slam. But then the great thing here is McMahon, he gets on the floor, he gets in Austin's face and starts like shaking his head. He just like Austin does when he stuns people, or when he stuns McMahon, he gets in their face, starts shaking his head. Then he gives the double birds. McMahon gives the double birds to Austin and rolls backwards out of the ring, just like Austin does. It's like
most athletic Vince has looked.
McMahon's the man.
He is best heel on television in the '90s.
He's so damn good. So that's it. That's leading up to September 27th. Even JR and King are going to mention it over and over again. So it's like directive from Vince McMahon. You got to announce this date. You got to keep announcing this date.
In case anyone forgot,
Yeah.
didn't hear him the first 100 times. It's September 27th.
That's probably because they've been off the air for 2 weeks, basically. They haven't been off the air, but they haven't been on their Monday night spot for 2 weeks. And now it's already September 14th, and it's just a couple weeks away. So they're like, we got to mention the shit out of this because, a lot of people might not even know about this event. So just fucking shout it out there over and over again.
I mean, their core demographic, like the teenagers and shit, who knows? I don't know. Parents might not have let their kids up at fucking 11 o'clock at night on a Saturday. So they're worried. And those are the people that are begging to get the... Hey, they were selling pay-per-views then, so I get it. It's different now where it's just like, all right, you go on the fucking network, you pay $10, it's there.
Yeah.
Back then you needed to, people like you and I, we were, in that core demographic, like their target audience, that, teen and preteen demographic. Hey, make sure you remind your parents, September 27th, you need $50 to order this fucking pay-per-view.
I'm wondering how people even knew that Raw was on the Saturday initially, because they didn't mention it on SummerSlam at all. That Raw won't be on tomorrow. It'll be on next Saturday. They didn't do that.
Yeah, you have to check your fucking TV guide.
Yeah, I guess. All right, so now that'll bring us to the main event. So actually, right at the end of that promo, McMahon reminds Austin, or informs Austin rather, that you're going to defend the title tonight against Ken Shamrock. So Ken Shamrock got his wishes from the night before, from Sunday Night Heat, and now he has this title match. So this is the third consecutive day that there's wrestling on. You had Raw on Saturday, you had Sunday Night Heat, now you have Raw again on Monday. 3 fucking days in a row. I would have loved that shit. I don't think I watched these because they weren't familiar to me. These things.
What, the Sunday Night Heats?
No, any of these things happening. These things aren't familiar to me from back in '98.
Oh, all right, gotcha.
So I hadn't seen these. If I did, I don't remember. But we got the main event here: Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Ken Shamrock in what is a hell of a match. Damn good wrestling match. Shamrock comes out there. He's got his little blue trunks on. I was wondering. I was like, is he going to come out with little blue trunks, or is he going to switch it up because he said that?
Comes out with his red ones or something.
Yeah. Like, fuck you. I'm not wearing my little blue trunks, dickhead.
My red ones.
These are my little red ones. All right. So before the match, Shamrock said something pretty stupid. He says, you're looking at the calm before the storm. He reminds me of Bret Hart sometimes with his delivery.
Yeah, he does. Shamrock, great technician, had everything going for him that you could possibly want, except couldn't talk.
Right. And that's why they often went with him yelling and screaming and flipping out, because he had nothing else to say.
Yeah, we have nothing else to do with this guy. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. So anyway, he says, you're looking at the calm before the storm. Like, what does that say about him? He's saying he's the calm. In the storm, inherently what they're saying is the storm is, the storm's Kane and the Undertaker that you'll be dealing with at Breakdown. But I'm the calm before the storm. Well, that's not a good thing.
No, that's not good. That's
That's like a walk in the park. I'm the walk in the park. It's like, no. Just said something like, you may think the storm's coming at breakdown, but it's arriving early.
yeah, something like that. Like, fuck.
Anyway, you get to this match. Right when the match starts, JR informs the audience that they fulfilled all their commercial breaks. And I thought, yeah, sweet. I love that. Because you're going to get the match. You're going to get to see it like it's a pay-per-view match where you get it. And it's not broken up. It's not like today where it's broken up into 4-minute segments. And, so formulaic where, and we were just talking about this, but if you're watching Raw, I have it on the background, you have it on the background, it's so predictable when they're going to go to commercial. Usually someone will take a bump outside the ring, and then immediately they'll go to a commercial break. That's just how it is all the time now.
Yeah, you can even tell with the way the audio. I know, it's like you can tell with the way the audio's changing. It's freaking, it's way too formulated.
Right, and you can tell just how Michael Cole is about to send off the commercial break.
Yeah, just by the excitement in his voice or lack thereof. I don't know, the tone.
Right, it's just like, this match continues on Raw.
Yeah. Once you hear this, you're like, all right, you're already up for the bathroom because you know.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, no excitement either to oh, come on, stay tuned with us. This match will be right back. Sorry, we're going to go, but we'll be right back.
Yeah, it's all casual.
Yeah, it's like, this match continues on Raw. What do you mean continues on Raw? It's commercial break. It's not continuing.
It reminds me of the fuck was it on ABC Saturday mornings as the kids, whatever. It's like, after these messages, we'll be right back. All right.
So yeah, that just stood out to me. It's like, all right, good. We're gonna actually get a match here. We get to watch the match without interruption, and we get into the match. You get some, like I said, wrestling. You get some actual wrestling here, headlocks, and pretty cool shit. But and this will be more of an inside joke for us. But when I was watching Shamrock, I was like, wow, that's Mr. Garvin. Mr. Garvin is a history teacher at our high school, and he was a boxer. He was a fighter, and
Shamrock really good just boxer too.
Yeah, right.
Gold gloves and all that
gloves.
Stuff.
Trained with Mike Tyson.
Yeah, during the Olympics.
Yeah, during the Olympics in the '80s. But yeah,
he does. Wow. He does look like Garvin, like a jacked. He looks
like
Garvin.
jacked Garvin.
He's got the same facial features and everything. It's good stuff.
Well, he's got that boxer's nose too, that nose. Yeah, that nose that's taking some shots.
Yep, that's really what it is. It's the fighter's nose.
Yeah. All right, so Shamrock, damn good wrestler here. I think he's adapted perfectly to professional wrestling, from going from UFC over to WWF rather, and he definitely has the skills to do it. But like JV was just saying, like you just said, that his promo skills weren't there, so it was tough to get a much character other than he's intense, he's the baddest man in the world, whatever type gimmick. So that lasts for so long, but then it's not gonna. It's only so far you can go with that.
Yeah, people don't care anymore.
Right. So.
And UFC then wasn't what it is now.
Yeah. No, exactly.
As far as popularity, it was actually more vicious then.
Yep.
But not as popular.
So just based on how this match was going, I thought, man, imagine how great this match would have been like a year earlier too. Like back in '97, like before the injury, before SummerSlam '97. Like the kind of work that he was doing with Bret Hart at WrestleMania 13. Yep. The work that Austin was doing. And Shamrock was the referee in that match, which is pretty cool too.
You can tell these guys have good chemistry together. Like their styles gel. You know what I mean?
Yep. And I don't want to go through all the details of this match. I just want to recommend you guys watch this match. Was there any spots that you wanted to point out that you thought?
Yeah, cool? I did. So there is, just it's a hot start to the match, which I always enjoy. That it's not like, they're exchanging suplexes back and forth. there's a near fall with Ken Shamrock where the ref, I think it's Lawler, points out that there was a long 2 count from the referee. So it just kind of it's a good way to kind of narrate that Shamrock's, obviously like a formidable opponent for Stone Cold. Like, hey, what if that wasn't a long 2 count? If that was a regular count, did Shamrock win the match that early? It just leaves it up to the imagination of the viewer. There's not really much dead air even in this match, even when they're chain wrestling. But one spot I liked is there's like a nice textbook heel kick by Shamrock. So he busts out the heel kick off the ropes and then transitions into a very nice fisherman suplex. Like, the thing looks pristine.
Yes. Yeah, very good. Like a perfect plex, yep.
Yeah, and what I like about Shamrock, I've always liked about Shamrock, is the way his suplexes are, his slams. It's almost like he's snapping them out. You know what I mean? Like, they're quick. Like, I don't know. Like, some people you watch do suplexes, slams, they're just sloppy, or they feel like long. You know what I mean? Like, they're just like, I don't know. They take a little while to complete. Everything's like quick, tight, crisp, and to the point. And he's basically doing that through the whole match. But the best spot of the match was the Hurricane Rana reversal.
Yes.
So Shamrock tries the Hurricane Rana, and Stone Cold reverses it into a powerbomb.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It almost looks like a variation of like a pop-up powerbomb because of the way he kind of catches Shamrock, which is dope.
Yeah, it does.
That's probably the spot of the match for me, at least.
Yeah, I would say so too. That's what I have.
And one thing it brought to mind to me is at this point in a match, nowadays the fans would have hijacked it.
I know. They would have been yelling, "This is awesome," and all that shit. It's nice not to hear that. It's nice to
I love it.
It's nice to just feel it on your own when you're watching the match and just be enjoying it, like knowing this is great, to yourself. Like, that's what the people in attendance thought too. They were like enthralled by the match, so they don't want to be yelling because they're watching it.
Yeah, it's what you paid to do. It's like now asshole fans today feel entitled to be a part of the show. So every little fucking thing, any good thing that happens, you almost can't enjoy it. Like, I'm guilty of it when you go to shows, you start cheering, everyone else is doing it.
Yeah.
But I think the only time you should really feel like you need to be involved in the match is if you're like cheering for like the face of the match
or something
to come back, or if they engage you to actually be a part of the show. Otherwise, shut the fuck up, sit on your hands, and enjoy the show.
You're right. Just watch, clap and shit, but don't be getting your voice on the audio.
Now. It's overkill. I mean,
well, the thing is now people
Kurt Hawkins match now. It's like, come on, it's a fucking match at 8:45. The fuck are we doing? Shut up.
The thing is now people are just kind of like they see a spot and then they'll pop for the spot and then they'll start chanting because of just like some crazy move they saw, and not because it's telling a good story of a match. It's just, that was a cool move. This is awesome. This is awesome.
It's like so that inspires awe. What just happened? Does it really?
That was awe-inspiring.
Yeah, give me a fucking break. That's one thing I wish would just go away from wrestling. Not entirely, but I don't know.
It's not awesome if everything else is awesome.
Yeah, like pick and choose. It's like there's a lot of bad judgment. It's like maybe like 1/5 of when they actually chant "This is awesome" is actually fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's certain crowds.
But that's how good this match is, though, because I guess that's a sign of a good match. The crowd decides to hijack it.
That's true.
There are multiple points from this match. So if you're a younger wrestling fan and you weren't around during this time, for this match to put things into perspective for you is a match where you'd get up and cheer and you would marquee chants.
Yeah, you would be hearing "This is awesome" chants for sure during this match. So, anything else? Any other spots you want to bring up?
No, I mean there's the Boston Crab towards the end of the match. So Shamrock's got Stone Cold in the Boston Crab, and Stone Cold always, in my opinion, always looks awesome when he's in a submission. Like his selling, the faces he makes.
Yep.
He's always good when he's in a submission hold, and just the moment where he's kind of scraping and digging and trying to suck up the whatever little energy he has left to kind of grab the ropes. That's a good spot, which is a nice way to kind of cap off the the pace of this match and the flow.
Yeah, I like that. From there, Austin gives the mule kick to Shamrock, which I actually like this spot because Earl Hebner as the referee, he got his timing right and he wasn't looking, so it was like perfect because Austin, he tried to get out of the corner, gave the mule kick. Hebner was just not looking, and he's able to get out of it. He starts to stomp a mud hole. Shamrock, that leads to a double clothesline, and Austin's going to go for the cover. So you have them both down. Austin finally goes for a cover. So Shamrock is definitely looking like a legit contender for the title here. And Austin just barely getting him to cover and only gets a 2 count. But at this point, the crowd's attention gets taken away from the match as Undertaker and Kane start to make their way down. And that's the thing that kind of sucks with Raw, is that you're going to be having a great match, but because it is Raw, they want to push other stories.
Yep.
So you know that it's always going to come down in the end to something happening where this great match that's been going on is not going to be a clean finish. It's not going to be a legit finish. So,
but they did their job, like knowing it wasn't going to be clean, to keep us interested. Like, hey, maybe, because it just gives that a little bit of doubt that maybe, just maybe, this isn't going to go the way of a regular Raw, usually does. That's when you know you got a good match. Where you think there might actually be like a clear victor at the end, which in most cases never happens in a Raw main event when there's a belt on the line.
Well, that was kind of like what happened.
Correctly? Did I hear correctly? Did you give Earl Hebner props?
Yes, I did. I gave him props.
Did you pat him on the back? Holy shit!
Yeah, you actually did a decent job in this match. Yep. So I gotta say it. Gotta say you did.
See, this Mike Prue guy, he's a very fair.
Yes.
He'll acknowledge you when you do well. He'll let you know when you suck.
That's right.
So, stand up,
gotta
dude.
be. That's right. When you deserve an A, you get an A. When you get an F, you get an F.
Spoken like a true teacher, educator.
All right, so you got these guys coming down now, and they're gonna distract the crowd. And ultimately what happens is Shamrock's going to get chokeslammed, and Austin starts to get stomped. Earl Hebner's not calling for DQ yet, so that's kind of sort of made me like, what the fuck, Hebner? Why are you not calling DQ? But
we're back.
Yeah.
There he is.
Well, you get the Rock, and now you got Mankind come running out, and we haven't seen really much of Mankind yet. But they come running out, and they go head-to-head with Kane and Undertaker. McMahon. that should have been something. McMahon.
Yeah, that's when instead of corporate dude,
corporate dude, yeah, McMahon.
Yeah, when he has like the tie on,
yeah,
like when we didn't know what to call him when he had like when he's kind of like a both corporate dude and Mankind. That's what you should have went with.
Right.
McMahon.
Yeah, that would have been perfect.
Hell yeah.
All right, so there they are. They got Mankind now with the Rock. It's like, what? Rock's getting pushed more here. Again, big time. He's now in the mix with all these other top stars. And so it just seems like all of a sudden, like, is the Rock even in the nation anymore? What's going on? He's just like off doing his own thing now, going after Kane and Undertaker.
Yeah, yep. It's gone AWOL.
And even McMahon looks like he's looking down at the ring like, what the fuck's going on here? Austin grabs a chair. He nails Taker. He nails Kane. Austin walks up the ramp. He's going after McMahon, but McMahon runs behind the curtain. And that concludes the episode of Raw. Now, I did give away a little bit about Mankind, because he showed up in this match, but he shows up early in the night, and we'll get to that in the side notes in a minute. So he's back. He's been away since SummerSlam after he got nailed with the sledgehammer. Well, he's making his return here. All right, so those opening segments. That opening segment with the McMahon, Austin, Kane, Undertaker. That's a cool opening promo. Then you get this sweet main event match. This is I'd say this match is a four skull match to me.
I agree with you.
Definitely for a Raw.
I gotta go 4 skulls. This had all the makings of a 5-star match, if not for the interference at the end here.
Right. Yeah, definitely great. So go back, check out this match from this episode of Raw from September 14th. Check out this entire Raw because this is underrated. I don't hear people talk about this Raw. It's one of the best Raws of this part of 1998. Not for anything that stands out as being memorable, but just as a solid show that's enjoyable to watch from top to bottom. So with that said, I had said that it's kind of like set up like pay-per-view. You're getting legit matches, legit stories, all like coming to a head just like it would be on a pay-per-view. Yeah, you're going to get Kane versus The Rock. Okay, The Rock had just previously said that he's going to lay a smackdown on Kane's candy ass, and now here we go. We have a match already. So The Rock comes out, and he doesn't have the Nation behind him. The Nation's not with him. He just yelled at the Nation in the back, and Owen Hart was kind of pissed off about it. So nobody goes out there with him. But Kane has the Undertaker with him, and The Rock was almost at the point where he was going to get the win, but the ref was knocked out, and Undertaker interferes. So what happens is Mankind comes back. He returns at this point, and he sneaks in and whacks Kane with the sledgehammer. And what you got here is a combo. You got like a totally mixed Mankind. You got Mankind wearing the mask, so you know it's Mankind. He's got the mask on. But then he's got the corporate shirt on. Underneath the corporate shirt, you got the Do Love shirt. And then as he's walking back up the ramp, Undertaker's following him. He goes bang, bang to the Undertaker. So he's got all the personalities all mixed into one right here. So it's like he doesn't know who the hell he is at this point now. He's totally consumed. He can't even pick one. He's all of them, all at once. So I thought that was pretty cool. That he was wearing all the different aspects of his characters right in this return. It's been 2 weeks.
Yeah, it shows how unhinged he is. Like, he's really, like, at a boiling point of being unhinged. Like, he doesn't know what the fuck to do with himself. I mean, he thought he was in with Kane and freaking Paul Bearer. He thought he was Vince McMahon's freaking, handpicked guy. And poor guy's just a fucking mess.
Oh. Yeah. Big time mess. And he's gonna become more of a mess as the show goes on. I mean, we know he shows up at the end, but throughout this show, he's got some shit to deal with. So, and that's going to be the Undertaker, which is crazy. Here we go. The Rock pins Kane there just to kind of close up that match. But the Undertaker is going to challenge Mankind, and he tells Mankind to bring his sledgehammer. And so Michael Cole interviews Mankind in the back, and his face looks busted. I don't know if it's like makeup or stuff, but his face looks busted underneath his Mankind mask. And he'll accept that challenge. So then you get Undertaker versus Mankind. This is a fucking brutal match. Definitely another cool match worth checking out. It's at the 50-minute mark. It goes for about 8 minutes. It's funny at the beginning of it because Mick Foley's in the back. He's like gathering all his materials with a dumpster. He's throwing ladders, tables, trash cans, and he's singing "Hi Ho, Hi Ho, it's off to work we go." and he's just like demented, throwing all different things, singing a Disney song into his dumpster. Classic Mick. So they get out there, they have their match. Like I said, it's pretty brutal, as you would imagine it would be. There's a fucking like a legit wooden table out there. It's not like the typical tables that they go through. It's like, I don't know, like 6 inches thick. It's fucking pretty thick, the fucking wood that's on there. So you have that going on. That's pretty damn cool. The Rock is going to come back down during this match. He's going to pop out of the dumpster. He's going to hit Undertaker from behind with a chop block. Rock also tosses Mankind over the barrier. So I like that little touch because it shows that he's not babyface just yet. While he went after the Undertaker because he doesn't like the Undertaker, he also wasn't out there to help Mankind because he tosses Mankind over the barrier too. So again, this is the beginning, the real beginning of The Rock being on main event level. And so while we know he's being pushed, he's a big star. He's got the chops to cut promos. He's the IC champ, or he was the IC champ. But now they're taking him and they're moving him on. It's almost like he dropped the title at SummerSlam to Triple H so that he can now move on to the main event picture.
Yep, absolutely. That's exactly what it was. He was getting too big for that picture. They needed to cash in on his popularity.
Yep. So now they'll build up Triple H in that role, and then eventually he'll grow to be too big for that spot too. And then they're just stacking up main eventers over the next couple of years, or the next year or so. And then even Kurt Angle's going to come in a year later, and he's going to rise that ladder too. So shit's getting good here. So now you're going to get The Rock in the main event picture along with Stone Cold and Mankind and The Undertaker. So things are getting good here. So that was cool. You had Owen Hart versus Triple H. Nothing really special there, but it was an IC title match, so pretty cool. Dustin Runnels and Val Venus are starting to have a feud, and Val Venus, who's been babyface kind of, is now looking more heelish with his actions here. But I guess, in the 1998 audience, somebody that steals somebody else's girlfriend might be looked at as babyface. So Val introduces to Dustin the preacher's wife. So it's, typical scene of Val Venus laying in bed talking, hello, ladies, blah, blah, blah. And then, out comes from under his sheets Terry Runnels. Terry Runnels Marlena. And she was just giving him a blowjob, apparently. So Dustin, watching this on the Titantron, gets down to his knees and is like crying and whatever. So Val he jokes, I guess getting on your knees runs in the family.
Zynga.
What a dickhead. All right. You got Edge versus Gangrel. Now, you wouldn't really think that'd be a big deal. It's not a big deal, but this is a storyline that's been going on for a few weeks of, they might have some tension and they have a history with each other. So they're actually getting to have this match now. And Gangrel is they're kind of setting the seeds for Edge to join Gangrel. Okay, so Edge is like this tortured soul, and Gangrel has something on him. He knows Edge, and Edge has to he's gonna have to bow to him eventually. He's gonna have to work for Gangrel. Is what it's seems
almost like what just from watching this, I was rewatching this. It almost feels like Gangrel's obviously like a vampire, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And it's like Edge is almost like a vampire hunter. So, like, were they trying to like capitalize on like the popularity of? I don't think it was out yet, but the Blade movie. It either came out or was like coming out. Because I know it came out in '98.
Came out in '98.
Yeah, but I don't know if it had already come out or if it came, like, I don't know, because we're in September. I don't know what month it came out, but I know it
probably came out in October.
Yeah. So I'm like, are they trying to capitalize on like fucking vampire hype or something? I don't know.
Let's see if I can find the date quick here. Oh, it already came. It came out like.
Movie, so.
Oh, it says Canada. Why the fuck would it tell me when it came out in Canada? I don't give a shit.
No one gives a shit.
I'm sure it's not too far off from when it came out in the United States. Well, it got released.
Think even in Canada, they'd look to see when it came out in the United States.
Yeah, I don't care where it came out here. United States is where it's at. No, it came out actually just less than a month before. August 21st.
Yep.
So this was actually taped on the 14th. So it hasn't even been a month. So hey, they could have just Vince Russo could have went to go watch it on August 21st, and it was like, yeah, I got an idea. Let's get a vampire hunter for Gangrel. We got the vampire ready, but let's make Edge vampire hunter.
He's like that Adam Copeland guy. He's got he wears those black sunglasses. Blade wears black sunglasses.
Yeah, that's right.
So what's his name?
Man, they could have went with that.
Yeah, I'd love that. Blade. I was like a fucking junkie for those movies.
Yeah, I saw the
first two at least.
Yeah,
the third one was kind of whack. The only good thing about the third one is Ryan Reynolds plays a vampire hunter with swords, and everybody, even I then knew. I'm like, he's like Deadpool,
right?
And then like 10 years later, he's fucking Deadpool.
Well, first it was the shitty Deadpool in X-Men. Remember that one?
Yeah. Yes. Yep.
Like the Weapon X type Deadpool.
Yeah, he's Weapon X in the. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's funny.
But
I
that's
guess-
kind of like I don't know, from like the way he was with the swords and everything in Blade 3. With Jessica Biel's in that also. She's pretty hot in that too. Based on from that movie, most like fanboys knew like, oh, Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool, because he even kind of acts like him. He's cocky and shit. Like, he's Ryan Reynolds in that fucking movie. And then we got the shitty version of him in Weapon X in the Wolverine Origins movie.
Yeah. Then he finally got to be the Deadpool he wanted to be for so long.
Yeah.
He had to make it on his own, basically.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, so let's wrap up this Raw. You have evening gown match after that. You get Sable versus Jacqueline, and Jacqueline's titty pops out. And, nonstop. Like Sable's, just pounding on her, and there's, no way to hide it. It just keeps coming out. So she's blurred out the entire match. And this match ends, super quick, too, which is pretty shocking. It's almost like they said, all right, we can't have this match. It's got to end. Because Sable just wins too easy against Jacqueline. I mean, unless that's what they were going for, but I don't know.
Yeah, I forgot how, because there's a lull here in women's matches. There's what's her name, Medusa, Alundra Blaze. After her, there's a dead.
Oh yeah,
women's wrestling kind of dies at WWE, and it's funny. The two performers that kind of rejuvenate it is fucking Jacqueline and Sable.
Right.
I knew Sable was one, but I forgot that it was actually Jacqueline that,
right, and maybe Luna,
her first foe. Yeah, Luna too. Luna starts getting more involved now as she's with the oddities.
Right.
So
yeah, Sable's the one that revitalizes this.
Yeah.
And then from there, I guess it's pretty steady from that point on that there's women in some kind of role. Lita eventually comes in about a year or two later. So, yeah, that's a good point. All right, so this brings us now to Sunday Night Heat. The following night, the following week, rather. So this is just a week before Breakdown, September 20th. It was recorded the same night on September 14th. And I did point out last week that we're probably not going to cover everything on Heat. And while that's true, there are some storylines that continue from Raw. So if we're talking about it in the Raw side notes, it's going to make sense that some of it's going to come up on Sunday Night Heat. So we'd have to mention it if we want to continue what we've been talking about. So some things will come up on Sunday Night Heat, but it's not a whole lot. Sunday Night Heat's only an hour-long show, so things go by pretty quick on that show, which helps me enjoy it. So let's just get into it. Mankind comes down with The Rock and Shamrock. Shamrock and Rock are like Mankind's bodyguards here, and he does a quick match with Dustin Runnels, which is weird because you'd think they'd be building up Dustin Runnels to be able to compete. He's in this feud with Val Venus. He's just going to take a loss to Mankind out of nowhere. So that was pretty random. But after that, after he gets his ass kicked, he's going to get his ass kicked a little bit more when he sees how Terry got her groove back. And it's just more Val Venus making fun of Dustin and sleeping with Terry. Val Venus is going to ask Terry, yeah, what's he ask? He's like, I can only think of one thing that's harder than seeing your wife in bed with another man. So Terry responds, it's the big Valboski is the only thing that's harder. So yeah, I definitely feel like Val Venus is heel at this time. Because Terry's being a heel. They're both being big heels. And Dustin's just crying his heart out. So he looks like a babyface. But I think it's the opposite. I think we're supposed to hate Dustin and like Val Venus. Doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. I don't know what to make of this either. I don't even know what to make of Val Venus. Is he a heel? Is he a face? He's entertaining.
Right. But it did seem like during Kaientai he was just strictly a babyface.
Yeah, he did. He didn't really look like a heel until... Who did he wrestle at SummerSlam?
D'Lo,
yeah. Because the fans start chanting for D'Lo.
Right.
Because, hey, D'Lo was over. People actually liked D'Lo in the 90s. I did.
Yeah, me too. All right, so there's one clip here that we'll play. We'll get through here. Is Undertaker and Kane with Michael Cole. So take a listen to what they have to say about September 27th.
Undertaker and Kane, first off, let's talk about this business deal you've struck with WWF owner Mr. McMahon.
Mr. Cole, let me ask you a question. Why is it everyone feels it necessary to anger Kane and I? You have no answer, do you? Our business deal is strictly that. I have no love lost for Vince McMahon. As a matter of fact, if he was standing here on fire, I wouldn't throw scalding hot water on him.
That's your pop's
And as far as you go, Austin, it's not my fault, and it's not Kane's fault that you've angered McMahon. What you need to concern yourself with, son, is the World Wrestling Federation title and breakdown. You better keep your mind focused. So maybe the only thing you'll lose is your title.
Well, with that said, this plan, though, seems to be flawed. I mean, Mankind, Ken Shamrock, and The Rock.
You know, you're really starting to push it. As far as Mankind, The Rock, and Shamrock go, gentlemen, you need to understand one thing. If you get in our way, you will be hurt, and you will be hurt badly. So the next time you think you need to stick your nose in our business, you better think long and hard before you do. We take no prisoners, and we show no mercy. Think about it, gentlemen. Is that what you want?
And that brings us to tonight in your tag team matchup, gentlemen, against the DOA.
The DOA. Well, as far as we're concerned, DOA stands for Dead on Arrival. And gentlemen, when you show up tonight, that's exactly what's going to happen to your careers. Because you stand between us and something that we want very badly. So gentlemen, you can't be the first victims, but you can and will be the next.
And this Sunday, at Breakdown in Your House on pay-per-view, the triple threat match for the WWF Championship. The Undertaker...
Austin, our destiny will be your demise. What the hell?
Wait a minute!
Yeah!
All right, so basically you just have the Undertaker warning Austin about September 27th and the title, and Michael Cole's going to also bring up Mankind, The Rock, and Shamrock, and that they might have to worry about them. They might be a problem. So just Michael Cole's just touching on a few different things. They have a match with DOA. Kane and Undertaker have a match with DOA later in the night. So obviously Undertaker with his lame mic skills is going to say, well, DOA stands for Dead on Arrival. Which I knew he was going to use that joke. Like, I knew he was going to say that. Dead on Arrival. Fuck. He says it. And then this line, Undertaker stole this directly from Ric Flair. He said, DOA, you can't be the first victims, but you can and will be the next. Which is cool.
Is it a Ric Flair ripoff?
Yeah, because what Ric Flair says, though, he says, ladies, you can't be first, but you can be next. Woo! Which I love that line. It's like, you can't be first. I fucked a whole lot of women, but you can be next.
I like that line, too. Spoken like a true player.
Yeah. So Undertaker must have loved that line, too. So he's like, I'm going to use it. You can't be the first victims, but you'll be the next. So then Kane even gets on there. Austin, your destiny will be your demise. So he's got a little voice changer. Out of nowhere, Mankind comes in and attacks at the end of that little quick interview. And Mankind attacks Kane. Undertaker goes for Mankind. Then Shamrock and The Rock come in. So, you got The Rock again. And again, it's like, is he babyface? Why is he hanging out with Ken Shamrock all the time? And where the hell's the Nation? What the hell's going on? Where's the Nation? God damn it. So it's always just kind of fading off from the Nation. which I don't remember how he broke off. I mean, maybe this was how it was. I don't know. We'll see. See how it goes in the weeks to come here. McMahon and the Stooges come running in to try to stop things. Shamrock's acting like a lunatic. He actually knocks McMahon into the lockers. McMahon probably didn't like that. Kane and Undertaker stand by McMahon with the sledgehammers, and McMahon talks to Mankind later after the commercial break. He's trying to be like sympathetic to Mankind to get Mankind back on his side because he sees that he's going off now with Shamrock and The Rock. So he wants to control Mankind because he's always been able to control him. So he's trying to pull Mankind back in to his grasp, and he says, I want you to hurt The Rock and Shamrock. Then Mankind, it's like he agrees to it. So that's pretty much the gist of it there. At the very end of the night, at the end of this heat, you have Kane and Undertaker versus DOA. Nothing really happens here. Just kind of, McMahon's on commentary says this is a prelude to what's going to happen with Austin in 1 week. So we're 1 week out from Breakdown. And that basically breaks down our coverage for this episode of the Bottom Line Cast. So let me just wrap up things here with the house show rundown. You had on September 12th, 1998, in Seattle, Washington, Stone Cold Steve Austin defeats Undertaker, Kane, and Mankind in a no DQ match with Sergeant Slaughter as the guest referee. The following day, September 13th, in Anaheim, you get Steve Austin, same match, basically. You get Austin defeats Kane, Mankind, Undertaker. He defeats Kane with the stunner. And then on September 19th, New Orleans, same match. September 20th, same match. And September 20th, evening show, same match. Austin versus Undertaker versus Kane and Mankind. So that's about it there. So that's our house show rundown. JV, got an oh hell yeah moment this week?
Yeah, my oh hell yeah moment actually goes to Baby Stone Cold.
I like that one.
Once I saw it, I was like, that's my hell yeah moment. I don't care if what happens from here on out. It's fucking Baby Stone Cold.
I'm going to give my oh hell yeah moment to the match. I'm going to give it to the Shamrock versus Austin match. Damn good match.
Good one.
What about oh hell no? What do you got for oh hell no?
Insane Clown Posse.
There you go.
I had to see them. That was enough for me. I almost didn't even want to do the episode after I watched it. About to close my laptop, stop my research. But, I toughed up, fought through it, and I feel like a stronger man today.
All right, proud of you.
Thanks, man.
Oh, hell no. All right, so my oh, hell no is pretty much the whole idea of a Raw Saturday. Raw Saturday at 11 o'clock at night.
That's a good one, too.
With two fucking pointless episodes of Raw that just went by, that everything was really covered on 2 hours, but over 2 weeks on 2 episodes of Sunday Night Heat. All the storyline happened right there on those 2 episodes. It just shows you what you can do with 1 hour of wrestling if you need to. Get your stories across in an hour. Let everybody go watch something different after. So that's it. That's oh hell yeah, oh hell no. And then we move on now to our plugs. Okay, so we got Talking Taker. Talking Taker is a great show about The Undertaker. They're covering The Undertaker much like we do here on the Bottom Line Wrestling Cast. And this week they're covering July of 2002. It's The Undertaker versus The Rock versus Kurt Angle from Vengeance 2002. Take a listen to Alex Dorio talk about Talking Taker himself.
Dead man walking.
Oh, hell yeah. What's up, Stone Cold fans? This is Alex Dorio, one of the hosts of Talking Taker. And along with my co-host and fellow creature of the night, Travis White, we are digging up the career of the dead man, one pay-per-view match at a time, on a podcast journey that's a lot like what you're listening to right now on the Bottom Line Wrestling Cast. So if you're enjoying what Mike and JV are doing here, going through the career of Stone Cold Steve Austin, come check us out as we explore The Undertaker's 3 decades of destruction. We're right in the midst of the Biker Taker era right now, so you can jump right in or start over from the beginning and hear us discuss the Undertaker's side of the story from his many battles with the Rattlesnake, The Rock, Mankind, and more. We're available on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, YouTube, Spotify, and more. And you can also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Talking Taker. Thanks to Mike and JV for letting us plug the show, and take her easy. What? I said, take her easy.
And also check out Booking the Territory, the Unprofessional Wrestling Podcast, where they break down episodes on Thursdays of NWA, WCW Saturday Night, and on Sunday nights rather, they cover Smoky Mountain Wrestling, and they break down the episodes, and they have some hilarious banter back and forth about this old school wrestling. So again, that's Booking the Territory, the Unprofessional Wrestling Podcast. They are currently in 1988 on their Thursday show, WCW, and in 1994 with Smoky Mountain Wrestling, covering episode 141 this week.
Hey, before you leave, hey!
As for us, got a little change of plans based on what we said last week. So what we have for you next week on May 8th, instead of our continuation of this story we're telling with Stone Cold, we're going to be taking not a break because we're still providing you a couple episodes, but we're going to take a break from this story from September of 98, and we're going to give you a couple watch-alongs over the next couple of weeks. Okay, JV is going on vacation, so that changed our schedule a little bit. So just for the sake of being able to get the content out there for you guys, we're doing a couple watch-alongs. Okay, you guys voted on a poll maybe like a month and a half ago about what match you would want us to watch again and do as a watch-along for something that we've already covered, and it was Austin versus Bret Hart from Survivor Series 96. So next Wednesday, in lieu of our regular episode, we'll have the watch-along special edition, Austin versus Hart from Survivor Series 96. The following week, we're going to give you another special edition. This one we have not talked about yet. And this is going to be one that people are going to be interested in. And we talked about it all the way back on episode 1 that we would do this one day. And that is to do a watch-along for an ECW Steve Austin match. Okay, so we're going to do a watch-along with an episode of ECW Hardcore TV from December 12th, 1995. And that is the episode where Steve Austin goes for the ECW World Championship against Mikey Whipwreck and Sandman. So check that out. That's going to be May 15th. So again, the next 2 weeks, 2 watch-alongs, Survivor Series 96, ECW Hardcore TV from December 95. And then the following week, we'll be back with our regular episodes. On May 22nd, it'll be episode 32, where we'll be covering the Breakdown pay-per-view. September 27th, that's what we'll be breaking down on episode 32 in 3 weeks. Okay, so we're not going anywhere. Episode's still coming out. Just a little change so that JV can get some rays in the sun and enjoy himself.
Yeah.
For probably his last vacation that he's going to have for a long time.
That's true.
So that's pretty much it here. You can reach out to us on social media on Twitter at MPRU83 if you want to reach out to me, Mike Prue. If you want to reach out to JV, get him at John Van Damage. And if you want to reach out to the show, it's at Bottom Line Cast. We're also on Facebook at Bottom Line Cast. So follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. If you listen to us on iTunes, please leave a rating, 5-star rating, of course, and write a review if you have time, and say some good things about us. If you want to share the show with your friends, let your friends know that we're on iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, Spotify, TuneIn, Google Play, Player FM, Radio Public, a whole bunch of ones out there. Okay, so basically we're on everything. So it's the Bottom Line Wrestling Cast. I'm Mike Prue, along with JV. We'll be back for episode 32, continue this story of September of 98 in 3 weeks, but stay with us next week and the week after for those 2 watch-alongs. I'm Mike Prue, along with JV. We're out of here. So long.